Today is the 11th day of May 2020, 11th day. And it seems that a storm is about to hit us early. All indication, even if there's a lot of rain, just rain, Abaco's in trouble. 9 months later, the F&M government have not came to the rescue of a people that needs help. I just want to say thank you to the international community from the United States of America. If it wasn't for them, we would still be laying on our stomach. We are able to crawl because of Samaritan Purse and the rest of the great organization that came to our rescue while the government of the Bahamas is still sitting and watching. This Abaco is a revelation to you. I told all the preachers, all the teachers, all the doctors, all the lawyers in Abaco, what you're electing in Abaco that's supposed to speak for you, you wouldn't see them. I said in my election that you will see more of the backs of Darren Henfield than you see of the front. You imagine the minister, a minister, my MP, Darren Henfield, have not spoken to the people of Abaco after Hurricane Dorian and COVID-19. And we have a tropical storm right upon our door. What people doesn't realize in Nassau and elsewhere is that today we have people that are sleeping in cars, outdoors, in tents, 9 months later. And in those cars, in those tents, they don't have anywhere of washing themselves. There's no toiletry. There's no water, no electricity, nothing 9 months in. Nor have social service, national insurance for most instances, nor have central government come to the aid of Abaco. We had fire the other day. We had rain 2 days after that. And every time it rains, we look up and say, oh God, why have you forsaken us? Because our roofs are still not being repaired. Because of COVID-19, the little help that we had from the United States disappeared like a vacuum. Nobody since have come to our rescue. You imagine 90% of the people that lost everything, 90% didn't have any insurance. The ones that thought they had insurance, that the bank was supposed to insure, the bank gambled and the bank charged people for the insurance, but found out that the bank weren't paying the insurance. So people that thought they had insurance found out the hard way they didn't. Now you got to find more money to get a lawyer to go to the Supreme Court and fight the bank that ought to pay the insurance. That's going to take years in this climate. So today I'm just saying to somebody out there in this F&M government that passed by Darren Henfield, the Member of Parliament for North Abaco, that passed by James Albury, that gave up his United States passport to be the Member of Parliament for South and Central Abaco. Could you please tell these members of Parliament that they were elected for people, to speak for people, beyond the behalf of a people in times like this? It's impossible to be collecting a paycheck as members of Parliament for North and South Abaco and you haven't speaking to your people. That paycheck should not come to you because you're not doing the job that you're being paid to do. How dare you guys haven't speak on a way forward? How dare 9 months later you guys haven't brought 50 sheets of plywood to help a people that narrowly escaped death with the most horrific storm to hit the Caribbean and indeed the Bahamas, where now a hurricane is knocking on our doors early. It's coming early this year. And by all forecasts, this season supposed to be the worst hurricane season in recent time. That is something Abaco don't want to hear. So right now in Abaco, you have a lot of panic going on, a lot of anxiety, unnecessary anxiety, because we as a people don't deserve this lack of respect from a government that we support. In Abaco, this FNM government has 2 seats, 2 representatives that haven't spoke to us in 9 months. The question is, where are we going to go if we have a category 1, 2, 3, 4, God forbid 5 again? Where are we going to go? Our homes are still not repaired. They're still not being strengthened by lack of help from this uncaring, heartless government. We can't come to Nassau to hurricane shelters because you got over 300 Haitians already being fed and housed, getting 3 meals a day, haven't left the hurricane shelter in 9 months. This is unheard of. This is the worst that I've ever seen it in my life in the Bahamas, that a government refused, the Prime Minister refused to be a servant of the people that need the government the most. Abaco has done its fair share of putting some $45 million into consolidated funds for 20 years, and to date, they haven't got $145 million back to help rebuild. All we could hear is the government borrowing. All we could hear is donation. All we could hear is that the VAT money. None of those monies have come to the people that need it the most. And we are on and in another hurricane season when the government of the Bahamas, this FNM uncaring, heartless government that don't have a soul, haven't given Abaco a box of nail. I want the international community to know that we have a government that doesn't have a heart, doesn't have a soul for people. And how could you tell? They couldn't even bury our dead. The dead can't bury the dead, and the government of Bahamas 9 months in haven't buried our dead. And I keep doing the video. What if a tornado would have come and to bust that trailer open with 75 dead bodies that has been there decaying, thawing out for some 9 months? What disease would spread through Abaco along with COVID-19? When would the Abaco Islands be normal? Would it be like when they dropped the bomb in Japan? Would it be like a nuclear waste in Abaco? These are all the things that the government ought to be looking in, ought to have fixed 9 months ago. But no, they were too busy destroying the lives of people in the mud, pigeon peas, sandbanks. And not only did they destroy the homes, they had nowhere, and they offer no other alternative for these people to live. And these people were not only Haitians, there were hundreds of poor black Bahamians living in the mud and the peas. Now where are they living? They're living in cars, tents, any kind of structure they could find 9 months in, without any water to sanitize themselves, without hardly food. This is the FNM government today. Through their residents, through Bahamians that just the other day elected them into power. let them out in the elements like animals. Nowhere to go. No homes. No water. No electricity. And a hurricane is knocking on our door 9 months in. What a government. This FNM government will go down in history as the worst government in the history of this country. The head doesn't know what the foot is doing. Every move they make has been a disaster. Like the man said, can any good come out of Israel? Can any good come out of this FNM government? 9 months in, there's nothing that we, the Abaconians, could brag about that this government has done to help to ease the pain of a devastating hurricane. And one is on our doorstep once again. Somebody, oh somebody, one of you proud FNM that was so proud after the election and just was yelling and smiling and all full of joy. Where are you now? Do you have a heart for Abaco? Do you know this Prime Minister? Do you know Darren Henfield? Do you know James Albury? Did you vote for them? Did you support them? Now is the time for y'all to reach out on behalf of a people that is hurting and let this uncaring government know that we, too, are Bahamians. And the only job that y'all have as Member of Parliament is the job of servant. We need you now to serve us. We needed you 9 months ago, but we need you more than ever because hurricane season and a hurricane is knocking on your door. Kai Case, one of you proud FNMs, call your Prime Minister, call your Member of Parliament, and let them know hurricane is on the way to Abaco once again. This is one of these Kai Care video. I don't need to be the spokesman, but somebody have to speak for people because our Member of Parliament, Darren Henfield, who is a minister who sat at the table of decision-making in this FNM government, decided for whatever reason to be absolutely silent. This is no time for no silent Member of Parliament. This is time for the Member of Parliament to act and act now. Kai Case.